Our fitness center and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt, golf, and a car wash. Go Happy, Go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School Football on WOCA, The Source.
All right, 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Wednesday morning. It was a story this morning. I guess Southern California, or at least Tucson, Arizona, I know, is getting some rain from that storm Javier that made its way through Mexico, right? And just, 2 or 3 days ago, we were talking to a guest by phone in San Diego. And, of course, here in Florida, we have lots of water. We have this beautiful aquifer underneath us and beautiful rivers all around us. And he was saying, I wish we could get some of your water because San Diego is going through a drought right now. But sometimes, you get the water. Like, did you see the swimming pool turn green? And I know it's a swimming pool. And they were talking about the dirty water in Rio in general,
wow.
Right? I don't know. We have made some great strides in cleaning up our water, but we're not where we once were. Even those who've been here long enough remember when the Silver River was a different type of a river. It doesn't look there. People say it's filthy. It doesn't look filthy to look at, but you can tell definitely that there are fewer fish, and I know there's a couple of explanations for that, but we've got scientists who are figuring out that, we can do things to fix our mistakes. Stefan Buck is on the phone. He's a public health expert and the business unit manager of the Global Filtration Division at NSF International, which is the National Sanitation Foundation. He's talking about water quality, harmful algae blooms. We've had our share, not here in this part of Florida, but down south. How to provide safe drinking water. Stefan Buck, that's probably the bottom line, isn't it? Good morning, Stefan. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. How are you?
Pretty good. Yeah, a lot of us get our water right from underneath ourselves, whether the city gives it to us or we get it ourselves. We're all pulling it up out of the aquifer.
You sure are. Definitely Florida has a large water aquifer to tap into.
Yeah, but that can get dirty too. I mean, we always were under the impression that water is pure, and not necessarily, right?
Well, yeah, all sources of water can have their own types of contaminants, and one that we see more and more often in the summer times nowadays are harmful algae blooms. And you just mentioned, Rio de Janeiro, and I know in southern Florida, down in Lake Okeechobee, I know they're having some issues with some harmful algae blooms as well.
Yeah. So obviously, I don't know how to fix the whole world, but can we fix the water coming into our little world? That's the real question.
Of course, there's always options. Your primary source of treatment is going to be your public drinking water system. Your utility is always going to be treating the water that comes to your home.
Yeah.
But if you live in areas that are prone to harmful algae blooms, for one, or either other contaminants you might be concerned of, you can always go and find a certified water filter that will reduce the contaminants in the water in case there's any spikes of that contaminant. They'll always be there to ensure that you and your family are protected with the water that you drink.
How effective are those screw-on charcoal filters? Am I saying it right, charcoal? Yeah, are they effective?
Well, there's a whole range of filter products out there. The one thing that you really want to look for is a certified water filter, and one you can look for is an NSF certified water filter. NSF tests and certifies all these products.
Oh, okay.
You can go to our website, find a whole list of them that are that are certified for the contaminants you're looking for.
Some people aren't on city water. They have their own wells. Is just drawing from well water a lot safer than getting your water from the city?
Well, at the end of the day, if you're drawing from your own well water, you're going to want to have that water tested just to make sure you know what's in there. And if there's anything you're concerned about, you can look for a filter that can take that contaminant out of the water to make sure that the water you're drinking is safe.
Is it considered a contaminant if it's hard water, as they say? I remember when I first lived here, we had to have a big thing that used salt, and it softened the water. But that's not considered a contaminant, is it? Whatever that is.
No, you had a water softener, and usually hard water is just an increase or a different combination of minerals in the water that makes the water a little bit different in consistency. When we talk about contaminants, we talk about things like microcystin, which is a toxin that's developed out of harmful algae blooms, or other things such as arsenic or lead.
So you must work with water issues all over the world. I mean, our concerns are still real, but they're not as great as they must be in some parts of the world. Am I right?
Well, definitely other parts of the world don't have the same regulations that we do in the United States for treating the water. The EPA here establishes most of or all of the drinking water criteria and the limits. And so when we talk about these algae blooms and the microcystin that come out of it, they have established two criteria there. One is for children under the ages of 6, which is 0.3 parts per billion, and for those older than 6, it's 1.6 parts per billion. And if you're using a certified filter for microcystin reduction, those filters are guaranteed to take the water levels down to that conservative level of 0.3 parts per billion.
We have a lot of springs here in our community and across the state, and so far they look pretty good. From the news reports, we know the algae blooms are like in the ocean part. Is there any danger of them traveling to the freshwater springs?
Well, there's no real danger of them traveling from the ocean to the freshwater springs. The algae blooms will really kickstart when there's the right combination for growth, which is going to be warm water and then the right nutrients such as phosphates. Often you'll get algae blooms in areas where there's agricultural runoff, and then that warm water temperature will just allow the algae just to grow exponentially. And when it does that, it'll create these what they call cyanotoxins, which is the toxic chemicals that will be a health risk for humans and also animals.
The actual broadcast you're doing right now is probably not reaching the folks in South Florida, but the podcast that we put up after this will be. So for those folks in South Florida who are living near the algae blooms, is there a way to test their water to see if what is it again, microcystin or something? Is there a way to test it, or just be sure that it's not making its way into their water, or do you just depend on your municipality?
Well, you can always contact your municipality to see if there's a way for them to test the water for you, and you can take your own samples and submit it potentially to a state-certified laboratory. Most of the times, if you're drinking your water and it comes from the municipal source, you'll rely on them for monitoring the situation. And if there's ever an issue, they'll provide a notice to either not drink the water or go to bottled water.
What is?
But again, if you're Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. But what does it do? What does exposure to the algae bloom do to you? Does it make you just feel bad, or can it actually kill you? How bad is it?
Depends on the level of exposure, but in most cases you'll notice fevers, headaches, vomiting. In severe cases where you've ingested a lot of the water, you may get liver and kidney damage. The primary route is really ingesting the water or drinking it. But you can feel sick if you're in lakes that are being used for recreational use, like if you're swimming through the algae blooms or water skiing potentially. You can still get exposed to it that way.
But that also goes to the buildings as well with the plumbing codes and things like that. Do you oversee that so that doesn't happen?
So the algae blooms are really going to be in that source water, in that lake or that river. And so if your drinking water municipal system it gets its water from those areas, they'll be treating it first, and they will often, they'll be able to take care of most of it. But if there's ever a spike or it exceeds the limit, having a water filter at your house or your tap is going to be a great way to make sure that you and the folks drinking from it are protected.
Wow.
Stefan, thank you for coming on there. This is really an issue that we think about a lot in this part of the world, and I'm sure you are familiar with that. Do you have a website you can leave us with?
Yeah, you recommend folks go into nsf.org, where there's a whole list of articles you can read about drinking water issues, and also find a whole list of certified water filters that you can look for and then go and buy yourself to use for you and your family.
Okay. Stefan, thank you for being on the air with us today, and go get some nice cool glass of water. I don't know how to end it.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Stefan. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Wednesday, variable cloudiness with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm around in the afternoon, the high 88 to 92. There can be a shower or thunderstorm in spots late tonight near the coast, otherwise partly cloudy Wednesday night with a low of 72 to 76. For Thursday, times of clouds and sun with a thunderstorm around, the high 89 to 93. Friday, times of sun and clouds with an afternoon thunderstorm, high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
FlySanford.com, Orlando Sanford International Airport. We are SFB. Simpler, faster, better.
Visiting friends and family or just looking for some fun? Book your vacation now to one of their non-stop destinations, including Amsterdam, Brussels, Mexico City, San Juan, as well as over 60 domestic destinations, including New Orleans.
For enjoyable travel, come to Orlando Sanford International Airport. We are SFB. Simpler, faster, better. Before you fly, FlySanford.com.
Hey Ocala, this is Kelly Hart, Executive Editor of Ocala Magazine. Did you know last year Ocala Magazine won more awards in excellence than any other publication in Florida? And this year, Ocala Magazine was named Best Consumer Magazine in the state. Now you can join me every Friday at 10 a.m. on Ocala Magazine Radio, where we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life, right here on The Source. Ocala Magazine thanks you for making us number one. And remember, there is only one Ocala Magazine.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
If you want to avoid getting ripped off and put more money in your pocket, then join me, Clark Howard, every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA The Source.
We are The Source, WOCA.
Stay with us and sleep better at the Sleep Inn and Suites of Ocala Bellevue, located next door to Don Garlett's Museum and a few minutes from Florida Horse Park. Our award-winning, newly refreshed Sleep Inn and Suites offers comfy, clean rooms, free fast Wi-Fi, and service with a smile. Start your day with a deluxe hot breakfast and unwind in our heated outdoor pool. Our convenient 24-hour fitness and business centers allow you to stay on track whether you're here to play or to work. That's Sleep Inn and Suites Ocala Bellevue, proud sponsor of Marion County High School football.
Are you ready to be inspired? Are you ready to hear a message of hope? If so, join me, William F. Stiles, inspirational speaker, live right here every Friday morning on WOCA, 9:35 a.m. Learn how you are amazing right now, today. Learn to see how special you are. Join me Friday morning, 9:35 a.m.
Cookies, 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 cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. King Cookie in the Paddock Mall in Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. So next time you're in the mall, stop by King Cookie or call 352-237-2557. KingCookieOcala.com. Customized cookies, cakes, and more. King Cookie.
Eating cookies. We're so happy eating cookies. Cookies!
Hi, this is Brad. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a pilot's license. This will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484.
You can't put it off any longer. It's time to replace your home's AC system.
The answer is ACEsolvesItAll.com and an exceptionally efficient AC system. Let the pros at ACE show you how you can save on energy monthly and give your family added comfort. The great thing is that ACEsolvesItAll.com is on call 7 to 7, 7 days a week at no extra charge.
For a limited time, mention WOCA and get a special discount.
Call 877-765-4ACE or ACEsolvesItAll.com.
say that this country is in the toilet. Some would even go so far as to say the economy is going down the drain. But we say, if water runs through it, we do it.
Hi, I'm Sean Scott, owner of Mike Scott Plumbing, and I approve this message.
All right, 21 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We are trying to get a guest who is not calling in, so we just move forward. Let's see. Today's the first day of school, and of course, you've probably heard of everything there is to know about that. As far as driving, you just want to be careful out there, and just remember that it's a new day for the kids. It's a new routine after the summer having off, and sometimes kids will be kids and run into the streets. So that's why that 20-mile-per-hour speed limit is important to adhere to. If you are choosing to not have your children in public or private school and instead are opting to homeschool your children, there is a Homeschool Expo that is going to be presented on Saturday, August 27th at the Public Library Headquarters building here in Ocala, and that'll be from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. For those who don't know where the library is, it's 2710 East Silver Springs Boulevard. It's right near the Veterans Park, the Ocala-Marion County Veterans Memorial Park. Vicki Least is a Florida Parent Educator Association's Scholarship Foundation Chair, and Vicki will provide an introduction to homeschooling at this event. She'll give some tips on how you can be successful as a homeschooling parent. Vendors will be there. I don't know exactly what they vend, what they sell, but they will be there. Perhaps they sell software. Maybe they sell textbooks. I don't know. Other local homeschool support groups will be available also to give you some guidance if you are thinking of becoming a homeschool parent and you're worried about it. I would be if it was me. I can understand why people do it, and as I've said many times before, we have a unique circumstance by doing a radio show in regards to the students in our community, in that, typically if a student is in our studio to talk to us, that student has done something exceptional. And so we see the cream of the crop, and from what we can tell, there are successful students in all three forms of of education. The public school students do really well. We've had them in here. The private school students do really well, the ones we've had in here. And same with the homeschool. We've had some really talented homeschool students in here as well. Is this our guest on the phone line right now, Robin?
Yes,
all right.
It's Asa.
All right, I'm going to push the button and we're going to talk to Asa. I wasn't able to talk to her off the air because of a communication problem, but she's on the phone right now. Asa Akira is our guest. Asa is an award-winning adult film actress. These are the kind of movies everybody says they've never seen. And she's the recipient of the Performer of the Year Award, which we like, that title. And she is a humorist, and she's got us laughing already. Dirty 30 is her memoir. Asa Akira. Good morning, Asa.
Good morning.
Where are you? You're in the Holiday Inn in Lower East part of Manhattan, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, Robin told me. Yeah, we know that area. we know that area. We're pretty familiar with that area. Well, thank you for being on the air with us today. Are you touring? Is that why you're at a hotel?
Actually, I just came here to do the interviews real quick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I'm just going to go back to my parents' house.
And where is that?
Nice.
Not the address, but where is it? Yeah. In New York somewhere? Or is it New York?
Yeah, my parents live in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. So when somebody finds out you're an adult film actress, do they ever ask you anything I've seen? Do you get that? Any titles?
No, not really. It either generally ends the conversation right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it usually starts with, "Oh, you look so familiar," and I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm born." And usually that's exactly the answer they were looking for.
Oh no!
They were trying to bait it out of me, or they are horribly mortified.
Yeah. And I think I'm right when I say these are the movies people pretend they never see. I think that's true.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe not so much the people I come across. But yeah, I think in general,
good choice of words, by the way,
are in denial about.
So you wrote a memoir, and what did we learn?
I did.
What did we learn about you in the book Dirty 30? What did we learn?
So this is actually my second memoir, and this one, I as you can see from the title, I turned 30 while I was writing it, and it's a lot of ponderings on just, being a woman, turning 30. I always say in porn, we age in dog years. So I definitely feel much older than my age. I'm working alongside, 18, 19-year-old women. So it's
oh, really?
I'm definitely feeling it.
So in the other part of the film world, they become what do you call them? Directors. They become directors when they feel like they've outgrown their acting years. Do you see yourself becoming a director?
It's not the most common scenario. It does happen quite a lot. It does feel like the natural progression would be for me to go in that direction. I've tried directing movies. I did about 10 of them a couple years ago. And, honestly, it's not like my favorite thing. I got into porn because I want to, perform in the movies. I like that aspect of the business.
But I think, not that I can give you any advice, but I think obviously you're displaying talent as a writer and talent as a funny writer. So I don't know. I think that's a direction you might find yourself going.
I would love to. Like, my dream would be to keep writing. I would love to do another book and, all that. But I definitely also want to continue in porn for as long as I possibly can. I mean, I always say, like, as far as the directing goes, like, I didn't get into the business to sit behind a camera. Like, that wasn't my goal.
Right.
So
you have also overcome hurdles in your personal life, such as drugs. I mean, you beat that, and you could be a mentor to the young ladies that are entering this world of adult films.
Yeah, but I think I get asked that a lot, and the book clarifies it. I think they tend to exaggerate that, but I don't consider myself like a drug addict or anything like that. I have dabbled pretty heavily in recreational drug use as a kid. But, by the time I got into porn and everything, I was already sober. And I've led like a pretty healthy lifestyle, and I've been really lucky. Like, the negative aspects of porn haven't affected me so much. I got in when I was 23, so I was already not older, but, relatively so, considering a lot of the girls who get in are, 18.
Asa, Akira, thank you for being on the air with us. I know we've got a really brief, it's even shorter than we thought it would be because of the communication problem we had. The book is called Dirty 30. It's a memoir. Is it, do we say it's PG-13? How do we rate the book so that our listeners know in advance?
Oh, man. I mean, it's not X-rated. It's definitely by no means like an erotic novel.
Okay.
It's not that graphic, but maybe it is. I guess PG-13. I don't even know.
Just in other words, just be aware of what you're getting. And do you have a website?
Yeah.
Do you have a website?
I do. It's asaakira.com, and you can also see me on wicked.com.
Wicked.
Nice.
Asa, ASAAKIRA.com. Thank you, Asa, and be careful in the Lower East Side. There's some really ruthless delis down there. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. A Justice Department report out today on Baltimore police. It says officers routinely discriminate against blacks, repeatedly use excessive force, and aren't adequately held accountable for misconduct. American Olympians starting the day in the lead for gold as well as overall medals.
Team USA adding 4 more medals in swimming, including 2 more golds for Michael Phelps, bringing his career tally to 21 golds, 24 medals. Katie Ledecky also adding her second gold of the games, and the women's gymnastics team also won gold.
Fox Radio's Chris Honig in Rio says also getting attention there is security.
The media bus was hit by gunfire last night. Happened as it returned to Olympic Park from one of the basketball arenas. American journalists were on board. 2 people suffered minor injuries.
And the Kansas Water Park, where a 10-year-old died, reopens today. Fox News, we report. You decide.
For me, it was the big S-Class from the 90s. Beautiful. My friend's dad had one.
The SL. All of the SLs. I've been watching those since I was a kid.
I think the 1971 SC was the first Mercedes that just